Hey, it's been a while since we've been in the Bub and Mother's kitchen, and today, in the dead of winter up here in Winter Harbor, Maine, we're going to cook a pork rib roast. Now, as you can see, you have your ribs. Looks very familiar, right? We cut off this section of meat here. That's what you'd have. You'd be able to barbecue some ribs. So some of the same techniques are going to apply. We're going to remove the membrane. We'll do that off camera. We're going to rub this up, and because it's so cold and windy outside, we're going to actually slow cook this rubbed up in the oven. We'll be right back. We're back. I've got the membrane off, and again, we always want to take that off so that it cooks through and our rub. We're going to just use regular dinner dust here. We're going to be making a side dish a little later, and we want to get a bunch on here. And you know what's nice about the dinner dust, you never have to worry, oh, did I put too much on or too little. You'll develop a feel for it yourself. And look at that fat and that marbling over the time it's going to cook, which will probably be about 6 hours. And you know what's nice in your oven, while you don't have smoke, what you do have is awesome temperature control. And we're going to set it at 225, and we'll cook it to an internal temperature of probably about 170. All right, and that way it'll be cooked through and through. It'll probably take about 6 hours, and we'll have a nice choice of meat. We'll be able to pull it for pulled pork, slice it along the rib lines for a nice chop, right? Pretty much anything we want. So we're going to let this rest for a little bit. We're going to bring the oven up to temperature. It's about 10:30 in the morning, and this will be ready probably around 5:30 this evening. So when we come back, we'll have this in the oven, and I want to show you one of our side dishes that we commonly use with our rack here. So we'll be right back. All right, we're back in the kitchen with probably one of the simplest side dishes, but if you're having pork, pulled pork, ribs, almost any kind of barbecue, it's just one of my favorite sides. Now, if you remember, we rubbed that pork roast with our regular Down East dinner dust. What I'm going to use now is the honey and heat. Okay? Now, instead of just adding cayenne pepper and calling it spicy, we use chipotle. It gives it extra smoke along with the smoked paprika, all right, to give it that extra barbecue flavor. And the spice is more at the end of the bite. And one of the things that I like is if I season the meat regularly, I put the spice in the side dish. And what are we talking about? Coleslaw, all right? So this time of year, it's hard to get really good fresh cabbage up here. So I just bought one of the packaged, already chopped up coleslaw, which is perfectly fine to use. So I'm gonna open that up, put a little bit in here. We'll see how much we've got. Okay, that's a good amount. And we'll make as much as we have. Now, as those of you who've ordered, you know that everything we do, it's 100% natural, no preservatives, and we make it fresh. So we're going to add a good amount to regular mayonnaise. I like avocado mayonnaise, but any kind of mayonnaise will do. Some of the newer ones, they have olive oil, and then regular. Okay, and we'll mix that up and see how it goes. And You know, you want to get it mixed really, really well. And even though we have, you know, a good 5-6 hours of cooking time, we want to do this now because once you mix it into the slaw and let it sit in the refrigerator for that same 5 or 6 hours, you know, the coleslaw starts to break down a little bit, it gets a little liquidy, and the flavor really spreads right through. So you're getting that little bit of a kick, a little bit of a spice bite on your side dish rather than on your meat. Your meat tastes more, it's just more of a meat taste. Alright, so we're just going to add some of this, a little at a time. Mix it up, get that going. And I think we're going to just do the whole bag. I love coleslaw. Pulled pork sandwich, put coleslaw on it. Have coleslaw as a side dish with your pork. I mean, there's just so many ways to serve it and enjoy it that you really can't make a mistake. And in my opinion, if you like barbecue, you really can't make too much of this stuff. So we're going to put it in there, and you'll see it's the dressing is kind of a, I guess, almost a pink color, which is interesting. But the flavor is just fantastic. Let me just grab something over here. And we'll get the rest of that out. Oh yeah, got a good amount. Every last little bit is going to help. Now, you know, we haven't been on video for a little while, and we apologize for that. We've been really busy getting the holiday orders out, stocking up our stores, and I had the good fortune of having 2 knees replaced. Anyway, I'm doing great. We're back cooking and getting ready for 2021. Some people say, thank God 2020 is over. I don't know that they're wrong. Anyway, just a reminder, you can go to our website and get more recipes, www.bubandmothers.com. You can also send us contact information for your local supermarket. We'll send them samples so that they can try it and see if your stores will carry them. And to do that, just send the contact to bubandmothers, BUBNMUTHAS, @gmail.com. And we look forward to the next recipe and hope to see you real soon. Thanks. Have a great day. And we're back. Take a look at this. I mean, good night, Irene. Watch this. We're just going to tear this off right through. Got a great crust on it, great bark. You know, people say, well, there's not a smoke ring, and that's true. There's not a smoke ring. But smoke rings, while they add a little bit of flavor, are more for competition. We're here about eating dinner. So, let's just chop it up. Get the bone out of there. Telling you. Man, oh man. What a mess. What a delicious mess. That meat. the juice is still in there. Right now it's 6:30 at night. We put it in at 10:30 this morning. It's 8 hours. Okay? And it is just ready to chop and go. And we're going to show you how we're going to set it up a little bit special. Not your typical slice of bread or hamburger buns or rolls. Just waiting right now. We've got some buttermilk biscuits that we're going to pull out. In a few minutes they'll be done, and we'll build some sandwiches. And we made ourselves some homemade barbecue sauce using nothing more than tomato paste, apple cider vinegar, Bub and Mother's, and some maple syrup. And some cut up onions. That's it. We cooked that for a couple hours as well. But look, you can see, you know, I cut it, it's easier, but it's just as easy to pull apart. And we'll be right back with the biscuits. Alright, we're back. And as you can see, the biscuits have now come out of the oven. This is our special difference. Rather than a roll, we went out and we got some of those buttermilk biscuits. And you can still see the steam coming off them. I'm going to open them up. It's a little hot, but the crispiness on the outside and the softness on the inside is perfect. What we've done with some of the pork that we've put up is just simply put it in to the remainder of our barbecue sauce. We already bottled some of it to use at other events, so we're just gonna put some of this pork down on these biscuits. And you guys can load them up any way you like. I like to get them pretty full. Make sure you have plenty of paper towels on hand, because this is stuff that, I'll tell you what, in the Bub and Mother's kitchen we tell you, if you're not wearing a little bit of this, you're not eating it right. So there we go, a little bit more over here. And again, this is great for leftovers. Alright. Now, one of the things that I learned living in the Carolinas, when they make a barbecue sandwich, the #1 topping is coleslaw. And as we showed you earlier, we made our whole coleslaw using our honey and heat. So while the meat is milder, our slaw has a kick to it. So it's nice and cool and refreshing on top of that hot barbecue. And let me tell you, set these up, and this one will give it a little bit of a slant, more of a view for the camera, and there you have it. Pulled pork on a Sunday evening with coleslaw. We use our Bub and Mother's honey and heat, as well as our Down East dinner dust on the pork. Hey, you guys keep cooking, keep smoking, and hopefully you have a healthy and safe New Year. We'll see you next time.